If you want into the club, you've got to play by their rules, and they want you to whip yourself across the back for things you did in the past. But I think it's pretty clear that Franchesca Ramsey is basically victimizing herself about the idubbbz stuff.
I didn't intend on making a video about this, but I'm so angry.
There was a black person pulling the strings, clearly. And the thing is as well, I've been the victim of racial abuse in America, okay? They'll put these people in ethnic camps and they'll concentrate on being spent 15 minutes just basically shitting on idubbbz with this stupid bit here. Okay, so as you know, recently idubbbz has had a much criticized kind of, you know, what's the right way to put it? He used to be kind of an edgelord and put out like what a lot of people consider to be good content. He's recently become like more progressive, but with that has kind of shaved off the edginess and has just become kind of just very cringe and virtue signally. I don't know how to best describe it. You know, he's fallen off. I don't know what you call it.
I hear you're a racist now, father.
Thank you for the sub. Indeed, I am. You know, and my take on it has always been, if you want to change what you're doing, that's fine. But I just think the way that he's gone about it is, it just comes across as very disingenuous. He's putting out these videos, you know, he's kind of putting out these videos and he's like, oh yeah, no, I was really wrong to do this, really wrong to do that. And then obviously you had the controversy about the charity event not actually making money to give to charity. Yeah, he's had a rough time, but I think somewhat deserved, okay? And I think as well, like, he never really did anything that was that severe. You know, he didn't really do anything that was that severe. You know, he used slurs sometimes. And yeah, you could criticize that, sure. But like, he never really did anything that was that severe to like what he is kind of accounting for. And now I find out in the time that I was off, he's gone on that show of that Ole person. That's the person who was on like Leftist Mafia. I think they've left now. Maybe we can look into that and see why that is, because I don't know anything about that. But they're the person that was like talking about trying to get someone to lose their job because they said some mean thing on YouTube. They're basically like a very typical, you know, woke scold leftist who's just obsessed with race, is the best way that I'd put it, okay? And I don't care what anyone says, she has definitely got a problem with white people. Definitely got some weird issue with white people. But yeah. Anyway. idubbbz went on to her show, The Leftist Rebrand featuring idubbbz TV. I mean, you can see the Sitch and Adam take. idubbbz confesses all his sins in ultimate internet struggle session. Well, I've got to see this, haven't I? Let's go! I love it already! Not being racist, not being a bigot, that's actually the bare minimum that you can do, okay? Here's the thing. What do we mean by this anymore? What is a racist? What is a bigot at this point, okay? Because the thing is, I remember when that used to mean something. I remember when calling someone a racist was actually a significant allegation and it was based on some sort of like genuine bad behavior that someone was engaging in. But now it's not only used in just insane ways. Like someone, for example, someone could have a criticism of homeless issues or like homeless people or something like that, and they'll get accused of racism. Anna Kasparian experienced this when she spoke about a bad experience she'd had with some homeless people. People presumed that they were black, even though apparently they were white, and they claimed that she was being racist. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've got to this absurd point where talking and complaining about some genuine issue that you faced, which isn't even necessarily related to the race of the people involved, you get called a racist for that. So I just don't really put much stock in this idea of, oh yeah, you shouldn't be a racist. Well, it sounds like you use that idea to shut down conversation about genuine issues, you know, rather than actually being a genuine allegation. And then on top of that as well, I don't know much about this Franchesca person, but people like this Ole person and others, not only, I mean, in some cases I would argue engage in this kind of racism against white people, they also act like it's not a thing. They act like it's not possible to be racist to white people. So a lot of these kind of conversations kind of fall hollow to me, because it's like, yeah, obviously being genuinely racist is bad, but I would apply that across all races. And I just think it's so stupid how we constantly have got this, you know, qualification and this calculation over whether or not something is racist based on the power differential between the people involved. And yeah, it's just obviously feels like a trite statement at this point because it's said so much. But then you've still got people like this that come out and say these like stupid sentiments.
No cookies for that. I want to preface this video with a disclaimer. If you are somebody who innately finds the mention of race or racism agitating, turn this video off and go where the love is, because you are not gonna find it here, babes, and we are being productive today. This is not.
Let's go! We're not turning off. We're going to react to this. We're going to react to this. This is going to be great content.
Not a drama video. It's not a video about canceling anyone. It's not even a video about railing against white content creators who create platforms doing bigoted content and apologize and or pivot.
Okay, that's good.
It's about trying to get to the root of how these platforms come to exist in the first place, why they seem to persist in spite of the communities that they harm, actively telling those creators that it causes harm, and what, if any, material things those creators can do to mitigate the harm they've caused and or at least demonstrate their sincerity, so we as an audience can better determine who is being genuine and who's just trying to make some kind of leftist rebrand. Because the reality is, this exists, this happens. So what do we do going forward? This is not a video about condemnation. It is about problem solving, and it's about recognizing very real realities, very different kinds of harms and different perspectives and opinions people are entitled to have around harm that is caused. I interviewed idubbbz, or Ian.
I was being...
Feel like this is what's killing the left or killed it. This race shit is dead in the water. I mean, you know, you're going to get a group of people that are terminally online that I think are going to still bite on this, and I think it kind of took hold in the kind of, you know, the raft of Floydism that we saw. You know, like after George Floyd was murdered, you had people that came forward that were just very obviously, very explicitly like race hucksters that would push their kind of racially centered politics that people, you know, I think bought into because of the insanity of what was happening in America at the time. But I think as time has gone on, and as we've sort of noted that people have taken this to an extreme, and rather than just talk about exclusively instances of, you know, racialized police violence that are bad, this analysis of police violence is used in all interactions, and it's used to excess, to the point where Floyd's name gets invoked at points where it's not even relevant. Like, it's nothing to do with what happened to George Floyd. You know, there's a meme that I saw, which is probably created by a racist, but I don't care at this point. But it was like the police officer has got a gun on someone whose little face is painted black, and the police officer says, "Please comply." And the kind of, you know, caricature of the black person kind of turns into spaghetti to pull a gun out on the police officer. And I think that speaks to something which people feel and see, is this idea that, like, even people that would say that what happened to George Floyd was bad, or that instances of police violence and brutality are bad, is this feeling of like, that doesn't apply all the time. And there are obviously some instances where people engage in the most insane behavior and then get fucked by the police because they're causing a harm to themselves, the police, or others. And people cry foul. People cry Floyd. Cry Floyd. Like the boy who cried Floyd is basically what it is, right? So you had an instance where I think everyone saw it and was like, this is fucked. But over time, this kind of instance of calling Floyd has led to people to get very kind of like, you know, it gets to an absurdity. It gets to an absurdity, you know? Obviously, there's lots of examples of this where there's, you know, a black person has done something which you can look at and you can argue that there was a justified police shooting there, but people will invoke Floyd because they don't want to have to engage with the idea that actually sometimes the police do need to kill someone if they're that much of a threat, you know? Like, this is the fundamental aspect of Floydism. This is like the most fundamental aspect of Floydism, this invocation of him, you know, in order to easily push a political narrative without actually taking into account the reality of what's happened and engage with the truth of the situation, you know? You could even argue, I think, that Floydism is at the root of stuff like the Kenosha riots, you know? Because obviously the Jacob Blake situation was dramatically misrepresented by activists to the point where initially the claim was that an innocent black man was shot to death by the police just for trying to get into his car. And obviously that's a very juicy narrative if you're like a race huckster progressive trying to push your racial politics without scrutiny. But when you actually look at it and you go, he was actually getting into a car and trying to kidnap his, you know, children and potentially had a weapon. It's a different context, isn't it? And you kind of look at it differently. And then you got the inverse of that as well with the Kyle Rittenhouse situation.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Thank you for the sub.
Are back and more powerful.
Where you've got this kind of inverse situation where Kyle Rittenhouse, by all accounts, you know, acted in self-defense in a dangerous situation. And you had this inverse situation where the opposite kind of charity was applied. And Kyle Rittenhouse was considered to be this, like, insane white supremacist shooter who just shot a load of black people. So you got this kind of inverse situation with that too. And I think all of this goes back to what happened with George Floyd. But the basic point I was making anyway, before going off into all of that, is that I think people are a bit wise to it now. They're a bit sick of it now. And I think that this kind of backswing against this stuff is going to lead to these sorts of perspectives kind of taking hold online and maybe being of interest to determine online race-obsessed leftoid freaks. But more broadly, I think people just are not particularly interested in it anymore. And I think that it's just going to end up further damaging the left if these people continue to speak on this and have these takes. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Very just generally uncaring.
But before I show you that interview, I need to first give you a little backstory and explain to you why I interviewed him so you have the proper context to view it in. Because again, this is not about him as an individual. He is a case study, which is why I first interviewed Franchesca Ramsey, an amazing writer, comedian, actress.
Oh my God. Do you know, this is what we're dipping back into 2016 as well. We're dipping back to 2016 too. We're going back to Franchesca Ramsey. Now Franchesca Ramsey is getting fucking interviewed again. Jesus, man, it is literally, I don't know, it's not even a pendulum, it feels. It's like a circle. Time is just a flat circle, basically. Return to Gamergate. Yeah, exactly.
And also somebody that idubbbz had personally attacked and caused a harassment campaign to wage against her for years. I started thinking about this because I co-host a show called The Leftist Mafia. And a couple of months ago, we had to remove one of our co-hosts, Olurinatti, when substantial evidence was brought to the table to show that she had a history of attacking and harassing every creator that seemed to cross her path. But more than that, we learned that she had done what I like to call the leftist rebrand. It's when white content creators build platforms on what they call edgy but bigoted content. And then after years of causing harm and attacking absolutely anybody who criticized them for it, they simply apologize to their audiences who not only never cared that they did it, loved them precisely because they did it. And that audience, of course, forgives them because it was never their harm to forgive. And they go on business as usual. The problem with these redemption arcs...
I've got no love for Olurinatti, obviously. I thought what she did was fucking crazy. Okay. I did think it was kind of funny how she got cut off, like basically Stalin removed from the image levels of just getting rid of someone. But this idea that she did this like racialized kind of harm or whatever, like I'm pretty sure that Olurinatti, I think she used to work with Tommy C, that commentary YouTuber. I'm pretty sure that all she did is just do this kind of like cringe SJW type character. I don't even know if Olurinatti ever did anything that was like giga racist or giga bigoted. It was just like, I think, kind of poking fun. This is pretty racist. You mean my stream? Yes. Yes, it is. I am racist. That is true. That is correct. If you don't like racism, okay, you're not going to like my stream very much. Yeah, that was it. Sarah J. Warren. it seems like maybe you know more about it. I don't think Olurinatti did anything, you know, particularly egregious. I don't think that she like was super racist or something like that. She just kind of played with the SJW character a little bit, you know, which was quite common back then for a lot of people as well. Anyway, let's continue on. Come on, we're only 2 minutes in and we're pause Andying the hell out of this.
Rebrands, however you choose to characterize it, is that one, you never really know who's being sincere versus just making some kind of pivot for their own financial or professional gain. Two, there are rarely any concrete acts of atonement made to or for the individuals or communities that were actually harmed, and they're usually left entirely out of the conversation. Three, while it does theoretically make sense to want to forgive people for doing something wrong and then recognizing that and wanting to do better.
What are these little cute bubbles popping up, man? Honestly. You have not atoned enough. This is religious. This is fucking religious. This is like, there's a religiosity to this. The idea that you've got to like atone for the sins of your past. I remember watching, what is it, that philosopher spoke about this, spoke about how this, and other people have spoke about this too. And you know, at times I've felt a bit skeptical about it. But there is a religiosity to this, where if you want to be accepted into the faith, you know, in this particular faith, you must atone for your sins before you can enter the club, basically. Carefree Wandering. God, his video about it is so prescient. Fuck me, what a good video. But yeah, this is absolutely, you know, there's a religiousness to these perspectives that I think people will deny. Not only is it religious, there's original sin but no salvation.
When you are gone, you are missed. Smile.
Thank you for the sub. Wow, what a lovely comment. Thank you, appreciate you. Glad to be back. And yeah, I mean, that is actually a good point as well. This idea of atoning for the sins of your father's father. The amount that these kinds of people will... Autism Takes, thank you, glad to be back. They'll obsess and focus on slavery. Or not just slavery, but anything that's happened in the past that's racist, you know? It's just an endless focus on the crimes of the past, the crimes of your father's father, you know, to kind of chastise you. But even beyond that, you know, looking at sort of idubbbz situation, and I guess this is what this is about, is trying to interrogate and investigate whether he's truly atoned for his sins. Maybe it's not. I've not watched it yet. But I just look at this and I think, what's the fucking point? Like, why would you bother? Like, I'm not going to fuck around trying to atone for the sins of some edgy shit I said. Fuck that. That sounds fucking terrible. You know?
Little exploration is had into whether or not giving out that forgiveness so freely incentivizes other white creators to build their platforms this way, knowing they will be
forgiveness. It's religious. It's fucking religious.
And 4, little exploration is had into why those creators didn't seem to realize their behavior was apology worthy when the communities they were harming were actively telling them it was. As Franchesca put it,
they will make you a target and they will make you their jumping off point, and they will use bigotry as a come up. Yes. And I don't want to be right. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
But as I'm seeing it happen, I'm like, I said this would happen years ago. Yes. Years. Not a month ago, not a week ago, years.
Okay, so this is what I was looking for as well. So, yeah, basically, okay, it's religion. Okay, there's no priest. Okay, it's a woke black person that you've got to listen to preach. Okay, there's a woke black person or trans person or disabled person or whatever fucking, you know, combination of different identity factors. Okay, they're sat at the fucking precipice, the pulpit, whatever it's called. Okay, they're sat there in their fucking wheelchair. No legs, trans, black, and you just got to listen to what they say, okay? You just got to listen to what they say. Anyway, I found the tweet that I wanted to show because there was some kind of contesting over how true this was about the idea that idubbbz attacked this person, okay? Also, one other thing I want to know, let's see if they bring up class at any point in this video. We'll see. I'll be surprised if they do, but we'll see. Okay, so what was this? A few days ago, MS Olurin interviewed idubbbz. Before the interview, Ole is talking to Franchesca Ramsey. And Franchesca makes the unusual claim that idubbbz attacked her in a video, and this resulted in an idubbbz fan verbally assaulting her at an airport. While not getting into details, Franchesca characterized the incident as potentially fearing for her life, and that they used the N-word. The strange thing about this is not only the vagueness of the airport claims, such as, how would she know the person at the airport is an idubbbz fan, but that I don't recall a single video where idubbbz even mentioned Franchesca Ramsey, let alone attacked her. Yo! I'm an idubbbz fan, you stupid N-word! I'm an idubbbz fan, you bloody N-word! Like, how would that even go? They were wearing an idubbbz t-shirt with N-word, F-word on it, and they called me an N-word. Like, it doesn't make any sense, it's true. I saw the account Comment Copped screenshot Franchesca's earlier tweet on the subject with a clip of the idubbbz video she was referring to. However, as they show, the video Franchesca is referring to is not a real idubbbz video. It is an edit a random person made where the clip idubbbz and just uses words as a reaction to Franchesca. And this video only has 263 views. If this fan edit video is the basis of Franchesca Ramsey's claim against idubbbz, I believe she should apologise to him, considering a false accusation and association with a dangerous situation was played to thousands of people before idubbbz's interview with Ole. And Miss Olurin should at the very least put in a description and pinned comment something about these allegations, if not edit out that entire segment. We've all seen many apology videos and rebans from white creators who build platforms on bigoted content that harm people. Thank you, Franchesca Ramsey and idubbbz, for helping me to explore how those platforms come to be and harm and how we move forward. When did idubbbz create a harassment campaign and personally attack Franchesca Ramsey? Thanks, Mauricio. I'm glad to be back. The anti-SJW era of YouTube was a lucrative hate machine that funneled a generation into the alt-right, and I was a constant punching bag. idubbbz responds to MTV Decoded, 263 views. And that's the original video, which is nothing to do with Franchesca Ramsey. Jesus. Okay, here we go. Here's the clip.
Anti-social justice warrior era is what made the alt-right pipeline mainstream, and I will not elaborate.
I'm Franchesca. I created a show for MTV called Decoded in 2015. It was all about race, pop culture, and identity. 8 seasons, over 90 episodes, and that entire time I was harassed by anti-social justice warriors on YouTube. So they would make these videos debunking my content, calling me names, sometimes using racial slurs, saying that I should unalive myself, that I should be SA'd, that I hate white people, but I hate men. They would talk about my now ex-husband, but it was all under the guise of comedy. And the thinking was that they were purporting that...
Look, I will grant something here, okay? I will grant something here for sure, okay? There was obviously going to be some extremity of the criticism she received, okay? So I think I'm willing to accept that. I mean, some of the look, can we just be real, okay? Some of these people that made this kind of content went on to become full-blown Nazis, okay? So I think that we can agree there was probably some extremity mixed in there, okay? However, that being said, I can't even recall the takes that she had. But you know, like, I'm fairly certain that some of her takes and some of her perspectives probably fucking sucked. So there's obviously some level of criticism that she received, which was warranted, which was correct, which was fair enough. So, yeah, it sucks that there was an extremity in the response, I'm sure. But, like, if you're putting out not only public content, but you're doing it on MTV, an MTV YouTube channel, yeah, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny and a lot of attention for that. And it feels like this is that meme of, like, they just want to be able to say whatever they want and have no response to anything, you know? Like, you know, what this black person is saying is near enough the word of God and you should listen to it, okay? Don't even disagree with it. idubbbz probably thinks even if he never made the video, he has done harm to black people, so now they can claim whatever they want about him or something. Yeah, if it feels like he's tied himself to a fucking post and there's a bunch of black people there and he's like, right, whip me for whatever you want, okay? Whatever I've done, just give as many lashes as you think is fair. When there's criticism of his actions, but it was nowhere near as bad to warrant whatever is happening with him now.
Marginalized people are lying about our experiences. We're lying about our history. We are making a big deal out of things that don't matter. And we're creating words out of thin air, which, hello, that's where words come from. Someone has to make them up. And because these videos would target people that were extremely online and in need of a community, they were able to dupe people into consuming hours worth of content that had no research or fact-based evidence at all. They were pure opinion. And as we've seen with the pandemic, a lot of people don't understand the difference between opinions and facts. And when someone makes a 40-minute video debunking a 5-minute episode of MTV Decoded filled with lies and misinformation and straw man arguments, it's impossible to debunk it yourself without getting sucked into a hole of like wasting your time and energy. I will never forget a guy made a whole music video that was animated starring a character that looks suspicious.
Is this the Chris Ray Gun thing? Is this a reference to the Chris Ray Gun thing?
Suspiciously like me. I used to have locks, and so this was a black girl with locks, and it was all about how triggered she was and how upset she was, and essentially like creating this narrative that people who advocate for social justice are actually the ones oppressing white people, oppressing men, oppressing straight people. I mean, this guy spent money to have a video.
Look, some of these like woke women and black people, okay, they don't actually genuinely don't have necessarily the systemic power with which to totally oppress, straight people, white people, men. But they wish they did, don't they? But they wish they did. Listen to the things some of these people say. They absolutely would if they could. Are you fucking kidding me? They argue that it's not possible to be racist to a white person, okay? Imagine, let's just say you could flick a switch and these people had this systemic power. Do you think they go, oh no, we're in power now, so we can now be racist to white people, so we're not going to do it? No, they fucking wouldn't for a second. They just say, nah, it's not possible to be racist to white people and keep doing what they're doing. If they don't have the power, why do we know they exist? Well, that's the thing. I think it's a bit reductive to say there's no power. I think that if you look at a lot of institutions, there is this kind of progressive capture where they do have a lot of influence, over certain terms of service decisions that are made because, advertisers want to appeal to as wide a group of people as possible. And at the moment, it seems like their angle is to appeal to, along progressive sentiments, And yeah, there's obviously a lot of progressivism in academia as well that I think exists. So, obviously it's a very complicated conversation. I'm not really looking to like lay it all out and talk about it in depth, but I think it's fairly reasonable to say that there is some level of power that's been achieved by sort of progressive sentiments and ideals, all the way through to the kind of more extremist kind of leftist perspectives with the identity stuff too, Oh, hey, OKTV, how you doing? Hope you're well. So, yeah. I mean, God, I feel like there's something on the tip of my tongue that happened recently. Like when I was away, of some woke stuff that happened that I was even taken aback by, but I literally cannot recall what it is. Maybe it will come to me. But yeah. There's definitely a conversation to be had about the levels of social power that's been achieved when it comes to this stuff. I think you just need to look at the kind of Floydism as an example of like the extremity of this perspective, right?
Produced, he went into the studio. I mean, it was well done. Like, these people were making a living off of talking about me and spreading lies and essentially creating fascism-like content. So these people were essentially primed to consume alt-right content because they were being essentially fed it through comedy videos from their favorite creators.
I mean, that is crazy. I think we can agree there was an extremity there without acting like there was this onslaught of fascism because someone was poking fun at your fucking stupid pop feminism, like anti-racism takes. Fuck, man. Oh my God. I'm so tempted to go and relitigate some of this stuff because I just feel like she's like misrepresenting it and acting like there was way more extremity than there actually was there. Why do you think it's seemingly impossible for people like idubbbz to become more progressive without becoming a complete self-flagellating bitch about it? Because these people demand. I mean, idubbbz has got culpability for his actions. But look at how this video that we're actually watching started, right? They demand self-flagellation. They demand it from you. You know, if you want into the club, you've got to play by their rules, and they want you to fucking whip yourself across the back for things you did in the past. So what else have we got here?
And sociology explains racism as a combination of prejudice and power.
You don't have a fucking clue, so shut the fuck up, you
And sociology explains racism as a combination of prejudice and power.
By the way, I don't know the whole video there, but that isn't even fucking true. Sociology doesn't fucking say that at all, okay? The idea of the explanation of racism equals prejudice plus power, that's institutional racism. And the argument there is that without racism, without prejudice and power, you cannot be institutionally racist against someone. But you can still be interpersonally racist. This is the problem with all of these fucking pop anti-racist takes. They don't even take into account what's actually said. You know, they just push whatever fucking narrative suits whatever it is they're trying to do, which in a lot of cases is just trying to be fucking racist to white people. You know, there's, I think even in like foundational CRT concepts, I'm pretty sure there's like these 4 different types of racism: institutional racism, interpersonal racism, and I think there's 2 other forms. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be studying that because I want to make sure that I'm at the top of my game for every single possible type of racism that exists, right? But this kind of pop anti-racist shit doesn't even take into account any of this, and they just push this absolutely fucking, you know, retarded narrative that, oh, actually, in sociology, they've decided that racism equals power plus prejudice, you know, which isn't even descriptive of all the different types of racism you can actually achieve. Anyway, that being said, it is a short clip. I don't know what the full argument is. Probably some retarded shit. But clearly, this video here is not idubbbz responding to it. Someone has clipped idubbbz saying stuff and edited it to make it look like he is responding to it, right? So, obviously, this is not an attack on Franchesca Ramsey. But she's using this as evidence. But anyway, she's using this as evidence to say that idubbbz has attacked her. This isn't idubbbz attacking you, you stupid fucking bitch. This is someone that's edited together idubbbz clips to make it look like he's having a go at you. God, how can you be a YouTuber and have made content and not see what this is and think this is idubbbz attacking you? This is her own tweet that she shared, for fuck's sake. The captain's stuff and things. I don't even know what happened with that person. Andy Warski. Well, Andy Warski had a bit of a dive, didn't he? But I think he's kind of doing okay now. He covers a lot of, like, of the America First Ethan Ralph type drama, doesn't he? So I was going to say, like, you know, he's kind of lost in this battle against Franchesca Ramsey, but now he's kind of on the back up again, I think, after having a bit of a rough time of it. God, do you remember? Oh my God. Do you remember when Andy Warski was on with a bunch of literal Nazis and they were engaging in just pure, you know, explicit Holocaust denial, and he was just there kind of laughing along with it, and they were talking about like wooden doors at Auschwitz and fucking, you know, or they had a fucking swimming pool at Auschwitz, you know, which obviously, as we know, well, we don't need to go into it, but they were basically just saying all this insane shit about Auschwitz and the Holocaust, and Andy Warski was just like, yeah, well, that's an interesting point that you're making there, and it's like, Jesus Christ. He had a show with JF Gary Epi. Oh my God. It's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now. But yeah, anyway. God. I don't think he actually became a Nazi. I think he just was a useful idiot for a little while for people that wanted to spread the unhinged Nazi rhetoric shit.
I can use a swimming
but I think he's a bit more chill now. Hey, Iris Reeves. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. I hope you're well. Anyway, okay. I don't want to. I'm not gonna click on that. I think we've made the point. I think we've made the point here. Okay. Anyway, sorry, we've gone off on like a massive tangent. We've gone off on a massive fucking tangent. But I think it's pretty clear that Franchesca Ramsey is basically victimizing herself about the idubbbz stuff, even though by all accounts, idubbbz didn't really like talk about her at all, I don't think. So Franchesca has responded. Here are the key takeaways. She maintains that idubbbz did make a video about her, though she could not recall the video specifically. A post from idubbbz's wife claims that neither her nor idubbbz remember him doing any video on her. She says she is not confusing idubbbz with Chris Ray Gun. The person who talked to her at an airport did not say the N-word, however they did identify themselves as an idubbbz fan. No explanation as to why she felt threatened by them, or if they even did anything threatening beyond identifying as an idubbbz fan. She doesn't believe she needs to apologise for anything she said. She believes idubbbz helped normalise harassment on the YouTube platform generally, so her points against him stand. She uses a default bright mode of Twitter. Biggest okay. You know, it just feels like Franchesca, and this is the kind of environment that we're in, because Francesca's a black woman. You know, she can just say whatever the fuck she wants about the situation, and a lot of people will just immediately, you know, buy it, even though what she's provided in her tweets are just complete nonsense. Like, she's not, like, she said, oh, idubbbz made an attack video on me. It's proven that isn't an idubbbz attack video. And she's like, oh, well, he did make a video on me at one point. And he can't remember it. I've not seen anyone else come forward and show, you know, an idubbbz attack video against her. Anyway. Bit of a tangent, but I think we've gotten to the bottom of it. Francesca's just full of shit and wants to play the victim. God, I feel the old energy of 2016 right now. I feel like it's Gamergate all over again. I feel like all the Gamergaters live through me now.
Check the receipts. I said this would happen, and it absolutely did.
So while I'd been thinking about all that, I came across this tweet by Franchesca.
I didn't intend on making a video about this, but I'm so angry that like I just have to say something and just like get it out and let it go. So recently there's been a wave of people who've made bigoted content on the internet coming forward and apologizing. TikTok, we've got Kelly Cagdon. On YouTube, we have idubbbz, I think is how you say his name. And in years past, we've had Shane Dawson. And all of these people I have different relationships with. So I hosted a show for MTV called MTV Decoded. I actually created the show. I wrote on the show. I hired tons of incredible people and made a lot of great content that I am very proud of. But at the time that the show was on, I dealt with a lot of harassment because of it from these people that labeled themselves anti-social justice warriors, anti-feminist on YouTube, including idubbbz. And he made a number of videos where he used the N-word fully uncensored, where he put my face in videos and called me, you know,
wait, is she claiming this about idubbbz?
Harassment because of it from these people that labeled themselves anti-social justice warriors, anti-feminist on YouTube, including idubbbz. And he made a number of videos where he used the N-word fully uncensored, where he
That's probably true.
Put my face in videos and called me, you know, a and, you know, said that my work was cancer and like...
Okay, so she's now making claims about idubbbz that she's not able to verify. She's making these claims that idubbbz made a number of videos about her. Like, he did make a few videos where he said the N-word. Let's, you know, let's not fight on that ground, okay? But she's now claiming that idubbbz made all these videos about her, yet we cannot actually find any of these videos where he apparently did this. And even if it was true, what she's accusing him of isn't even that bad. Oh, he calls you a retard and said your videos are cancer. Yeah, you're kind of retarded, and yeah, your videos were pretty cancerous, if I recall correctly, okay? I mean, admittedly, maybe I do need to watch one of her old videos just to kind of really make sure that I'm not overextending in the criticism I'm making. But I'm pretty sure that her content was absolute fucking dog shit. Like, you're putting out content, people are going to criticize it. Like, yeah, deal with it. I don't know what to tell you.
My work made him want to kill himself. Most of these videos have been privated, so I can't show them to you, but I've seen them. And
that, by the way, the videos have been privated is one of the biggest copes when you're talking about like a creator as big as idubbbz. Okay, I can go and watch right now the idubbbz leafy content cop, even though idubbbz has like taken that down. Okay, like, you can still access a lot of idubbbz content that has been attempted to be removed from the internet. When you're like a massive YouTuber, your content is being downloaded, re-uploaded, archived. So this idea that it is impossible to find these videos where idubbbz has apparently attacked Franchesca Ramsey, who was someone that was talked about a lot of the time with the anti-SJW stuff, is complete baloney as far as I'm concerned. I think this is a cope. I don't think the videos truly exist. I think she got the wrong end of the stick and saw this one video of a fan edit and thought that was an idubbbz thing. And she's kind of extrapolated on it to paint the victim further. I don't think these videos truly exist. If she's able to find them, I'll literally eat my fucking hat, okay?
Created a culture and a fan base that then harassed me. So did Shane Dawson.
And the caption on the video read, "A response regarding creators who rebrand or outright denounce their past racist or bigoted content via apology video. The culture of harassment and bigotry you've created and profited off is not erased with a sorry or a rebrand." When I looked at the people that she had tagged, I realized that idubbbz and I followed each other because I attended Creator Clash earlier this year with my friend LOL Overruled. So I went down the rabbit hole, starting with the apology. Which, listen, as far as these apology videos go, it was a better one.
He was so flagrant. And I will say, like, I'm not one to give out cookies. I watched his whole apology video, and I will say, like, in the grand scheme of responses, he did a better job than most. So I'm going to say that he probably had someone advising him, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's probably a smart thing.
There was a black person pulling the strings, clearly. There's no way a white person could come up with an apology so good on their own. Anyway, yeah, I would never dream, I don't care what happens, I would never dream of getting down on my hands and knees for these people. Never. Never. Wait, I've just realized what idubbbz is doing. Hang on. This is idubbbz. This is idubbbz, okay? Look out for idubbbz next video, which will be this. This is going to be idubbbz next video. He's going to replace Content Cop with a 20 video series where he self-flagellates for the crimes of slavery. But this is basically what he's doing in my mind. God. I tell you what, I bet they wouldn't even be happy with this, would they? There's no pleasing these people. There's no pleasing these people. Why bother? Why waste your time? Fuck them.
To do, but again, it's just not enough for me. It's not enough for me, and I hope that he's genuinely committed to being a better person. And again, like, I listened to it, and maybe he is, but like,
notably though, in his apology, he singled out only one creator. At first, the only name he singles out to apologize to in this video
is a white woman.
Franchesca, okay, we're right here. We are right.
I mean, you know, I clocked that immediately.
See, I didn't know who she was, so I assumed she was a black woman, right, based on the context of the video.
Well, what? Okay. But obviously, Franchesca, idubbbz, you know, I don't believe that he actually made these videos she claims that he did. But if idubbbz doesn't think he made these videos and it seems like he can't remember, why would he apologize to her, first of all? And secondly, with that being said, what black person specifically should idubbbz apologize to? The reason that idubbbz apologized to Tanner is because he did something famously that fucked with her quite badly. So I think it was a totally, you know, there was a reason he did it. There was an argument that he had. He's thrown it out the window, whatever. But from his perspective, he did something specifically to her that he felt he ought to apologize for. Is there a black person that he's specifically done something to that's as significant as what happened with Tanner Monyo? Like, Who is it? Who is this black person he should be apologizing to? Because I thought he was giving like a generic apology to all minorities for the racism and shit that he did, but he was apologizing to Tana because of the specific thing that he did. Where's this black person that he's hurt that he should be apologizing to?
Did you go down the rabbit hole of how that situation started? I mean, the levels of irony. You apologizing to a white girl for using the N-word who also used the N-word?
Who used to herself?
Also used the N-word, and you thought that you were gonna check her on using the N-word, but using the N-word.
By also using it.
Come on, we in Inception territory.
But I do think it's a conversation that needs to be had with the centering of whiteness, even within your recognition of wrongness or apology going forward. There's still, not only is there a centering of white women in even the apology or the aftermath, but it's even the center of what I believe drove the desire to go this path. Because I think his audience, what happened is the audience,
they were attacking his wife,
and that is the tea. And that's the tea.
That's when it got real.
and that's what I'm like. So it got real for you when a white woman was hurt, and in the apology, it's only a white.
Like, I'm sorry, these people are just obsessed with race. I don't know how else to describe it. Every single aspect of their life is just obsessing about fucking race constantly and endlessly. Like, they're literally watching the idubbbz apology and they're going, white woman apologized to, noted. No specific black person apologized to, bad. I couldn't imagine living my life. Do you know what's so good as a white person? Do you know what's great for me as a white person? Okay? I can just walk out the door and not have to worry about any of this fucking shit. Okay? That's what's so great for me. And the thing is as well, do you know what the truth of it is for these people as well? They'll act like it's not the case. They'll act like it's not the case. Okay? But they can do the same thing. Okay? They can do the same fucking thing, okay? If you're a fairly well-to-do black person, you can go and wander around in pretty much any country, any Western country going, and it's highly unlikely that you're going to be subjected to any significant level of racism, okay? Can we stop the cap on this particular issue, okay? Because there's some black people that like to act like walking outside, it's just going to be an endless flurry of racism that they're subjected to. It's just not true. It's just not true anymore. Like, we are the most racially, like, in the West, the UK, the US, whatever, we are like some of the best and most inclusive countries going, despite some issues, certainly. There's the level of like progressivism that's been achieved, and the level of, hey, Nicholas, how's it going? Hope you're well. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented levels of progressivism to the point where most of the time you're going to be absolutely fine, okay? And the thing is as well, I've been the victim of racial abuse in America, okay? Some black guy was racially fucking abusing me in a 7-Eleven, okay? I've been subjected to what? No, okay, I don't want to say that. That's probably a bit extreme. Anyway, the basic point I'm making is that all of us, broadly speaking, particularly if you're like a content creator online, you're going to have quite a comfortable life and you're probably not going to be subjected to some of the extremities. Once again, okay, once again, the reality of it is that racism has massively is on a massive downturn. There's still issues, there's still problems. I'm not saying there's no problems whatsoever, but we are moving towards a more inclusive society and a more racially equal society to like an unprecedented level, the likes of which we've never seen before, you know? And for me, I think that movement forward has got to come with, a sort of denial of any sort of opposite racism. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, we shouldn't just replace bigotry against black people with this kind of casual and sort of like disdain type racial prejudice towards white people, you know? But unfortunately, people don't agree with that, and they do want to have this kind of casual disdain towards white people that's kind of just accepted, you know? And it's why people like Franchesca have argued in the past this kind of racism equals prejudice plus power. You know, it's like with that mentality, you are going to end up in a situation where you're just going to have this casual disdain towards white people that isn't really addressed, and it is going to cause problems. Whereas I think my solution to this is very simple, okay? Don't have explicit racism towards black people, and also don't have explicit racism towards white people. Understand there's different historical contexts. Sure, that's fine. Okay, I'm happy to do that. And obviously, stuff like slavery is a stain on society that still hasn't been washed off yet, and we've still got work to do or whatever, right? But we shouldn't just be permissive of this kind of casual disdain towards white people, Let's just fucking... Listen, okay, are you the person who was in my Discord posting this? You're fucking literally insane. Dude... No one wants to... I don't fucking care. Listen, I've got other stuff I want to talk about, okay? I can't believe you were posting in my Discord and now you're in my fucking chat as well. You're fucking an insane person. What do you think the odds are of idubbbz calling Vosh a racist transphobe in the next 6 months? Possible.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
I thought you
hey!
went through with it, frown.
Thank you for the sub. Your sub is keeping me going, okay? Anyway... Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's tricky because I don't want to ever accuse someone of being like an anti-white racist or something like that. Like, that's quite an extreme term. But I think it's not even necessarily that they're wanting to be like explicitly, really badly racist. It's more like a kind of this casual disdain towards white people, That's the thing that I think is a problem. And I think that's the thing that people like Franchesca and this Ole person represent. This kind of casual disdain towards white people that I think, if left unchecked, is only going to continue to cause and perpetuate racial animosity. Whereas, like, the best way forward in my mind is just remove that animosity both ways. Like, that's the way you deal with racism. You don't just introduce this casual animosity towards white people and leave it unchecked, because that's just going to lead to more problems and more animosity going forward,
White woman who is singled out and apologized to, because I'm like, well, you're apologizing for making racist and bigoted content, and yet no black person has been individually named, right?
And to be fair, like, I don't need him to check me by name. I would prefer my name to stay out of it. But at the same time, I did similarly to you.
Cannot fucking win with these people. Oh, well, he didn't mention me by name, despite the fact by all accounts he never made content about her anyway, right? Despite the fact that by all accounts he never made content about it. But anyway, she's complaining about it and then saying, I don't want my name in it anyway. What do you want then?
To clock the irony of him devoting a substantial part of that video directly to Tana.
Yes.
And even... she's another example of someone who has rebranded, right? Like, she was saying the N-word. She was making this like bigoted content, and then she really kind of moved in a different direction, and that was what he called out, supposedly, that led down that path. So again, it rings hollow for me, especially because I've been on the internet a very long time and I've watched this happen numerous times. Me. And the people who are able to remain relevant and the ones who are able to continue to have a platform evolve. And sometimes it is authentically so. And other times it's like, oh my God, I gotta move. I gotta change shit up because they about to cancel me. I'm about to get out of here. And it's like,
I have to set the stage for this kind of video because when you talk about racism, there are people who just feel personally attacked. They automatically feel like you're making a personal indictment of them, and from that moment forward, they are in defense mode. And
yes, because you constantly do. This is unreal. Yes, because it is a personal fucking indictment. When you call someone racist, you're making a personal negative indictment of their character. Yes, absolutely. Oh man, this is... it boggles my mind. This person... Okay, literally just before I went on holiday, this person was tweeting out, talking about contacting someone's employer because they left a mean YouTube comment. And she later went on to claim that they were engaging in bigotry and that's why it was acceptable. So this person is willing to at least profess to want to contact someone's employer over a mean YouTube comment, and then they want to sit back and go, come on guys, it's not a personal indictment, is it, talking about racism? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. You're literally talking about removing someone's income because of fucking mean YouTube comments. And now you want to sit here and go, you know, if this it's like, you know, if this triggers you, you shouldn't watch. Well, first of all, I am going to watch because this is probably going to be a great YouTube video. And secondly, it's complete fucking baloney. You know, it is an attack that you're making. I'm blocked by this person on Twitter now. But, you know, you can go and see their tweets with your own eyes. And you can be the judge of whether or not you think that this person is making like... You can judge whether this person is just talking about racism and other people are getting offended. Or whether you think this person is indeed making personal indictments based on this idea of racism.
You are their adversary. Because what they're really hearing is, you think I'm a bad person. You think I consciously decided to be racist. But the reality is a lot more nuanced and a lot less personal than that. The reality is that if you recognize that racism...
It's talking about contacting someone's fucking employer. This is mind-boggling to me. She was talking about trying to cut off someone's income because they left a mean YouTube comment. And now she's just trying to sit here and be like, oh, it's nuanced, actually. And she's probably going to make a society argument. Oh, well, the people are racist because of society or whatever.
Racism is pervasive in a society, that there is systemic racism, that we are all being raised and educated and indoctrinated in a society that has woven...
If racism is systemic, why would you even dream of thinking of contacting someone's fucking employer? So it's like, this is the thing, right? These people are just not interested in class. They might speak to it somewhat, but they're not interested in class. Because in this case, this person wasn't even being racist that made this YouTube comment, okay? But what they want to do is they want to try and rectify what they feel is this systemic issue of racism by invoking another form of systemic power, which is the power that employers have over their employees, okay? Now, I know some of you capitalists might not fucking like this take, and I'll just accept that, okay? But the reality is, if you employ someone, you have got some level of power over them, okay? Because you are responsible for, you know, giving them money for their labor, which they then will go and use to live their life, essentially, okay? Now, I appreciate there's arguments about employees can go and look for other jobs and all this stuff. I agree with that. Obviously, you know, that's true. But I think we all would recognize that employees, broadly speaking, particularly at certain income levels, as individuals, don't have that much power. It's why fucking unions exist. Unions exist as a recognition of the fact that an individual employee, unless you're in a highly skilled, highly paid job, you don't have much individual power, and you will have the systemic power of employers put upon you in numerous ways. And it's why you have these unions and stuff that form to try and combat against that, right? So basically, this is why, even though these people profess to be some flavor of leftist or something like that, it really rings hollow with me. Because I think, how do you as a leftist think it's acceptable to invoke one form of systemic power because they're being interpersonally racist or bigoted to you? It's just mind-boggling to me, because as a lefty, you know, and yes, I am a fucking lefty, okay? As a lefty, I really don't see how it's acceptable to go to someone's employer to try and get them fired because you feel they've wronged you in some interpersonal way. I think that's totally fucked. But these people will fucking willingly do this. And I'm just like, what? You know, unfortunately, I feel like we've maybe moved on a bit. I remember a time when these people denied that fucking cancel culture existed as well. Do you remember that? Do you remember when progressives acted like cancel culture wasn't a thing? Oh, what's cancel? Oh, cancel culture, more like consequence culture and all this shit they were saying. Yeah, I mean, maybe some people still think like that. I do feel there's been a bit of a change because lefties now have been more targeted by some of this cancel culture stuff. But cancel culture has been, and still is a problem. You know, and there's lots of reasons that it's an issue that's worth caring about. But the fact that, like, someone has got the ability to invoke the power of their employer against you because you post something on social media is pretty fucking crazy. And yeah, I obviously despise it. I mean, yeah, it is gaslighting, you know. I think people are a bit more wise to it now. And yes, that is the progressive fucking mantra, isn't it? It doesn't happen, but when it does happen, it's good. Cancel culture isn't a thing. Oh no, actually, cancel culture is a thing, but it's consequence culture, so it's good that it happens.
Woven racism and anti-blackness into our laws, into our media, into our schools, into our every fabric of our institutions, you will internalize and perpetuate racism and anti-blackness. Whether you're aware, whether you consciously set out to be or identify as a racist, whether you're a good person to the people in your life, whether you think you mean well or not, unless you make the conscious decision to recognize and unlearn these things and do better going forward. Although it is often received as such, it is not an innately personal indictment if you are a white person being told that something you do or say is racist. The problem is doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down, taking an utter refusal to hear or consider what entire communities are actively telling you. And it's often worse than just ignoring or refusing to hear those communities that these creators are causing harm to. Often their audiences will attack those communities.
But, you know, again, like, not to give him cookies because it's the bare minimum, but it is very telling that he admitted that this was coming from a place of insecurity.
I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. And it's one of the reasons why I, kept making this hurtful content. I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing. I'm not confident in my ability to entertain. And
the academic systemic analysis is just excuses to engage in despicable behavior. Yes, they set themselves as the powerless group, and therefore, anything they do cannot be judged in the same way. It's the classic slur discourse, right? Like, because I don't have power, attacking you on the, making a vitriolic attack against you on the basis of your race is acceptable, and in fact should be encouraged in some cases, because I don't have the systemic power with which to attack you on those lines. It's just an excuse to be an absolute shitter. It is the fucking quote. It's the fucking quote again. The Aldous Huxley quote. Work up, how to work up favor, and a moral crusade is promise people they'll have a chance of mistreating someone. People like being mean to and mistreating other people, okay? Now, I don't care about that, right? If you want to be a dickhead, if you want to be mean to people, if you want to mistreat people, fine, do as you wish, okay? But the problem is they dress it up in this woke progressive language and make it seem like it's good or acceptable. That is the thing that I take issue with in all of this, is just own it. Just own it. If you want to call a white person a slur, call them a slur. Be vitriolic, be harsh to them. But don't act like you're doing a moral good, because you're literally not. Attacking someone on the basis of the race, that's not okay just because you don't have systemic power, And the thing is as well, I weather it. It doesn't bother me per se, okay? And obviously if it's a bit tongue-in-cheek or whatever, it's fine. But like, I'm British, okay? I'm English. I've got no control over that. I didn't have a say or choice in where I was born or what my lineage was, I didn't have a say in any of that, okay? But for some reason, people see it as like a legitimate attack vector. And again, obviously, I don't mind if it's a meme or a joke, as long as people aren't inconsistent with it. But people will genuinely attack you on the basis of being British or English, and they'll be serious about it. And it's like, if I said the inverse, you would lose your fucking mind. But no, it's fucking fair game, because my ancestors, because my ancestors built railroads for the Indians, apparently, okay? Well, no, obviously there is a terrible historic evil that has been committed by some aspects of my country, but they like to focus on that, don't they? They like to focus on the racism, but what about the ships that went out to stop slavery? Yes, we did it for a bit, and then we realized it was wrong. Where do we get credit for that, okay? That's because you're all pricks, though. Like I say, it's not like I'm used to it now. But the point I'm making is there's this method by which people will group people together in certain camps, in certain ethnic camps. Hey, Malcolm, thanks for the bits. I'm well. Hope you're good too.
Hope things are well.
But these woke people will group others based on their identity status at a certain camps, and then they'll act like it's acceptable to mistreat them in some way because they're a certain ethnic identity. Okay. What do you reckon? They'll put these people in ethnic camps and they'll concentrate on being, you know, mean to them on the basis of their ethnicity. What, do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right?
And I think if I had to rely on my personality to entertain people, that I wouldn't have any amount of success.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing that I picked up on too, where it's like, it's really easy to, and I'm guilty of this too, like I don't participate in, you know, I used to like hate tweet stuff.
Shut it down.
Be like, I hate this show, so let me sit here and talk about it. And it's like, you know what? Even if I don't like the content, they did the work and they put it out in the world. Instead of me doing the same thing, I'm sitting here hating on them and shitting on them when I could be putting this energy into making the thing that I'm actually interested and passionate about. And that's what a lot of these creators that build platforms off of just hating on things, it's like, it's because you can't create anything from scratch. You have to really put yourself out there to have an original idea and put the time and energy into crafting it and building an audience. It's really easy to piggyback on somebody else's work and then just say, well, this sucks. It's like, okay, you literally have not made anything.
By the way, okay, what this take does, this whole, oh, I'm coming up with an original take and you're just, what if the original take is to genocide minorities? Hitler, okay, wait a second. Hitler had some fucking original takes, okay? Go and read Mein Kampf. He has some very fucking original takes in that book. I don't see anyone out here complaining about their allies piggybacking off of Hitler, do you?
Thing. And so again, it's truly the bare minimum, but him acknowledging that was coming from a place of like, am I actually even funny? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that you didn't know if you were funny without talking shit about other people's work.
I believe
exactly. You know, look, okay. We'll tone down the Hitler comparisons for starters. Okay, we need to just cool down a bit on that one. But the point I'm making is having this perspective of I'm creating, you're just a hater. Well, if your ideas are bad, or you know, someone else looks at your ideas and they think that they're like a bad ideas that are going to perpetuate the wrong direction for society, then yeah, it's totally reasonable that people are going to criticize you for that, you know? It's like look, we've created this narrative that the only people that are worthy of any consideration in this arena are the people coming up with these original ideas, okay? And it's like, why? Like the whole culture of our society is people talking about and proposing something and then someone else responding to it and talking about what you're proposing, you know? But for some reason online, it's like, I'm coming up with original ideas, and if you're covering it, you're just a hater. No, that's fucking humanity. It's someone might propose an idea. You know, do you think Socrates was there? Do you think Socrates was there going, well, guys, I'm coming up with all the philosophy, and you're all fucking haters having a go at me, disagreeing with me. You're just haters. I'm the one creating over it. Like, it's so cringe. You know, the passage of history is people proposing things, proposing ideas and putting content out there and other human beings looking at it and going, well, I disagree with that based on my ideas and here's why, you know? I'm just sick of this narrative. I'm sick of this narrative that gives bad actors the chance to make it look like they're the Giga victim because they're coming up with some fucking shoddy bullshit ideas and then someone comes along and goes, those ideas are bullshit. You're just a hater. Fuck off!
That I 190% believe that, and I think that's actually, when I peel it back, that's actually what was a bigger problem for me when I realized it, because I'm like, me recognizing that in the same way that you recognize that both of us were inclined to give empathy, and both of us were like, you know, I understand the impulse to do this, I understand the impulse to shit on these things, I understand that, but you know what makes you feel, I think two things. One, as Black people, we're always being asked of and expected and held in the place to always have to be compassionate and empathetic to people who are mistreating us, one. But two, it's because we as creators, can appreciate.
Wait, hang on a minute. Is she complaining about being expected to be compassionate and empathetic? Isn't that just like a fairly standard thing? Yeah. I mean, on the internet, it gets a bit fucking wacky because none of us are really engaging in a way that's compassionate as much as we might pretend to be. But I don't. And I think, obviously, the other problem as well is, well, if you're professing to be a certain way inclined in your views, and someone is like challenging that in some way, like, yeah, you can have a go at them. You can have a pop at someone else if they're having a go at you or whatever. That's kind of okay, right? You can even be a dickhead, but don't try and dress it up as... I think for me, it's like, well, she comes across as trying to be this kind of compassionate person, right?
That, okay, someone else has created and what goes into that, and that makes you have a different kind of respect for that. So it's two levels. We respect on a human level, we empathize because we're humans, and then we empathize as creators. And on no level did he empathize. On none of those levels did he empathize with any of these people, so much so that even in this apology, none of them get singled. Where was the Jinx? Where were these people? Where was any Jinx? That was the beginning of the end for Jinx's platform, and he's no longer on YouTube. And then I thought about that. That's also a part of it. The reason why you single out the white content creator, in addition to it being a white woman, because she's still here. Because she's still here.
And guess what? She was like, come on my podcast. Let's talk. They're just going to use this to then platform each other and continue to like raise their own profile, which is why I'm like, none of this holds water for me because, again, like bars in hell, but the only person that I've really seen take any real measurable responsibility is Jenna Marbles. She said, I'm out. She said, I've built a platform. I've done some things that I'm not proud of. And I think her motivations were twofold. I think she was burnt out on creating content to begin with.
Right, wait a sec. Sorry, I missed that. That person I banned wanted to be unbanned. I think I might unban them. Right, let's go back a bit. Sorry, my bad.
And post the shit on these things. I understand that. But you know what makes you feel, I think, two things. One is Black people, we're always being asked of and expected. Okay, so it's two. And on much so that even in this apology, that was the beginning of the end. Where was it empathize with any of these people? So much so that even in this apology, none of them get singled. Where was the Jinx? Where were these people? Where was any Jinx? That was the beginning of the end for Jinx's platform, and he's no longer on YouTube. And then I thought about that.
Wait, who's Jinx? Who's Jinx? The React guy. What, the guy that just sat and watched content and didn't say anything? Yeah, I mean, his content fucking sucked. Good. He deserved to get fucking cancelled in this case. I mean, the thing is, it's like, I don't know what happened with this Jinx guy, but like, if he wanted to continue, he should have developed his content and not just fucking stolen other people's and just played it with his fucking head there, occasionally laughing. Obviously, if someone's cancelled unfairly or something like that, obviously that sucks. But if someone is making shitty content and people don't want to watch said shitty content anymore, well, that's kind of on the content creator for not adapting to the fact that people don't want to watch his fucking dog shit content anymore, no?
Also a part of it. The reason why you single out the white content creator, in addation to it being a white woman, because she's still here. And
guess what? She was...
What? Okay. I think I'm just piecing this together in my head. So idubbbz did a video about Jinx. Am I understanding that correctly? And in this video, was it racially based? I'm presuming he just criticized him for being a very lazy content creator. Like, what's the problem? So, because someone's black, you can't criticize bad behavior in case they get fucking cancelled or what? Like, what the fucking take is this? Listen, I don't think him doing shit content was anything to do with him being black. I think it was because he was doing shit content. He just criticized lazy reacting. What's the problem with that? Why should he apologize for that? Did he say anything racist? Like, in the course of criticizing Jinx, did he at any point do anything as extreme as go to a live event that he was at and say racial slurs in front of him to try and embarrass him. Like, I just think what these people are missing is that, what, you know, I've got a certain perspective on it, right? Thank you for the gifted sub, appreciate it. But, like, the reason he apologized to Tana Mongeau is because of the extremity of what he did, that I don't think is matched by whatever video he did about this Jinx person. Like, what is, like, yeah, obviously, if he just did a video and said, oh, this Jinx guy, not to do with race, but he's very lazy in how he makes content and he just sits there and reacts, and people were like, yeah, this guy fucking sucks and don't want to watch his content anymore. I mean, yeah, that's on Jinx for not adapting when he gets called out for not doing good content. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, man. It's so difficult because I've not actually seen the content. And for all I know, idubbbz fires up the video and he's there calling Jinx you know, an N-word thief or something like that. I don't know. But I just can't imagine that it was particularly a racially motivated thing. It was probably just calling him out for making shit content, no?
It's like, come on my podcast, let's talk. They're just going to use this to then platform each other and continue to like raise their own profile, which is why I'm like, none of this holds water to me for me, because, you know, again, like bars in hell, but the only person that I've really seen take any real measurable responsibility is Jenna Marbles. She said, I'm out. She said, I've built a platform, I've done some things that I'm not proud of, and
oh my god, the only thing you can do is quit. The only thing Franchesca Ramsey is going to be happy with is you just deleting your fucking platform, okay? That's it. You must just leave the internet. Nothing's good enough for these people. It's pointless. Why would you flagellate yourself? Why would you get on your hands and knees for these disgusting freaks? Fuck them. Just say, fuck you. I don't care. That's it.
And I think her motivations were twofold. I think she was burnt out on creating content to begin with. I think that was just, you know, the timing was right. But she said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And again, like, I don't think she needs me to accept her apology or anything. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, you're backing up what you're saying. Yeah. Like, I've profited off of this. I don't feel good about it. So I'm going to bow out. And to me, it just feels like damage control to make the apology and then just move. Because even he said at one point, he was like, I'm not going to just keep apologizing. I'm not going to keep making content about this. And I was like, yeah, exactly. This is you going, I'm done with this and I never have to think about it again after this. When the reality is you've made millions off of this content. So wait a second. Didn't idubbbz give some money to like some charity or something? I said this as well. I said it's kind of funny how but then I think he said like, oh, I'm giving some money to charity. I've got to be honest with you as well. I've got to be honest with you too. There's something a little bit shady about this. That she's basically spent 15 minutes just basically shitting on idubbbz with this stupid fucking bitch here. Only to then like play his interview after. Is this not like poisoning the well a bit? I don't know. I don't know what conclusion she comes to. But I think there's general, unless you're adding a bit of extra context and stuff is fine, I think. But like having a whole segment where you're basically talking about, you know, letting Franchesca come on and wax lyrical about what a fucking lackluster job idubbbz have done as actually accounting for his content to then play his interview is pretty shitty. I just think that's a bit unreasonable. Like, just play the interview, maybe have this as a separate video, I don't know, but it feels like you're massively poisoning the well for people that are then going to engage with the idubbbz interview.
I think that is actually, you know, a place and something that I actually want to discuss, and I will discuss with him, because you know, normally when you have conversations about like reparations, just as a larger conversation in our society, that becomes a harder, more nuanced conversation, because people say, then who, blah blah. Yeah, this is very, we know who, we can see, we know who, and we know when. And I'm like, well, you know what, I
gotta be honest with you, I don't think these two deserve any fucking reparations, do they? What do they need reparations for? Don't they have successful content career jobs? Why should these two get... What do they need reparations for?
think, and I'm going to talk to him about this, I think, you know what is a meaningful step? Because I know he said in the video, I am running ads on this video, and I'm going to donate to a foundation or something. The Black people you've harmed, of course, there are far more Black people that have been harmed than just the individual content creators, and that you will have to atone for in some other way, and you probably will not be able to, right? That's just what that is, because you put that out into the world, and you can't take that back. Once you fester hate and white supremacy, it is what it is. But as far as the individual creators, you know who they are. You go look at the privated videos on the videos, every video you did, every content cop on a Jinx, what you did to you, what you did to all of them, and what was the revenue on those videos, and pay and cut some checks. Some checks.
And
what? So Jinx is going to benefit from this. What? That is insane. Yo, Jinx, I know that I said that you made garbage tier shitty React content that added nothing and just basically stole other people's videos, but I was a bit mean to you in a video once, so here's a check for some of the ad revenue. Is this a serious take? Do they even know who Jinx is? Do they even know about the kind of drama about the content? Like, this Jinx guy was literally, you know, I know that React content has got a controversial, you know, dynamic and discussion about it, but Jinx was literally just playing a video without actually adding anything to it. It was like the original React content guy that everyone criticized because of how lackluster his content was. Why does he deserve to get paid? Because idubbbz was mean to him in a video because he did shitty content. Yeah, Jinx was like if Assange's chair was a person. True.
And again, he did acknowledge that he has built a career, a successful career, because he's gone on to do other things outside of YouTube. I think he's doing this like boxing series or something like that, and I'm sure he's making tons of money from that. He got that platform off of those videos. He didn't just get the opportunity to sell tickets and do, you know, these big events just because he's a great fighter. No, he got to do that because he built a ginormous audience on YouTube. Right. And I don't know who his wife is. I don't watch her content, but his success has also given her an ability to have a platform, right? Yeah. There's like a trickle down. To your point about reparations, we can see that the content that he created has opened doors for him beyond YouTube. So again, personally, I don't need a check from him. I'm good.
And I love that for you.
But I love that for me too, honestly.
Okay, what's funny about this? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, notwithstanding the absolute failure of the recent creator clash thing, is this is based on a misconception that Franchesca's making that she was actually targeted by idubbbz. Like, she's not owed a check because idubbbz, unless someone could provide me with evidence of this, idubbbz never made any videos about her. idubbbz never made any videos about Franchesca Ramsey. And now she's sat here going, well, I don't need a check from him. Yeah, you don't deserve one because he never made any fucking content about you. And that fucking scumfuck, whatever his name is, whether he's black or not, Jinx, he doesn't deserve any money either. And he did have a video fucking made about him. Like, no one deserves any apology for any of this. Even if you think that what idubbbz said was bad in those videos. Why should you be paying the people off the back of it? If anything, there's a stronger argument you could make that idubbbz should cut a check for Tana Monyo. But they're not going to make that argument because she's white. And white people are not allowed reparations. White people are not allowed reparations. Well, she claims that she didn't confuse him with Chris Reagan. I just think she's like a fundamentally dishonest person. And, you know, she's unwilling to back down from these retarded things she said that aren't even true. So she's trying to kind of obfuscate. Obviously, we looked at the response earlier that that was Adam and Sitch's interpretation of it, I guess. Sitch's interpretation of it, but yeah, that seems to be what's happened here.
Honestly, I really do. But at the same time, it's like...
Yeah. Power move to say, well, I don't want it anyway. Something you're not even entitled to. Yeah, exactly.
An apology is not enough for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything that he can do that will ever be enough.
Yeah.
And I think that him and any of these other creators who rebrand, if you genuinely are looking to better yourself, you have to acknowledge and accept that it won't be enough for some people.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
don't think about you. I don't lose sleep over you. You should be moving forward in a way that's repairing harm and being better every day of your life.
Yeah.
Because that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like, not being a racist, not being a bigot is the bare minimum. We're not giving out cookies for that.
So here we are, 18 minutes, 27 seconds in. And we finally get to the idubbbz section after two strong, powerful black women have spent 18 minutes discussing how it's not, and nothing he's done is enough, basically. It's unreal. I just cannot imagine. If I was idubbbz, obviously idubbbz is not going to be able to say anything about this, right? Because he's on his whole, you know... I remember I read a book called The Da Vinci Code. You probably heard of it, right? And in that book, there's a device that this extremist Catholic priest guy uses, who's like a nutter. It's called a cilis, I think. And it's basically like a leather strap with spikes in, and you wrap it around your leg, okay? You wrap it around your leg, and you basically wear it at all times, and it's to do with, like, you know, feeling the pain that Christ felt or some shit like that. I don't know, it's weird religious shit, right? But that's what I imagine that idubbbz has got on, okay? Every time he speaks to a black person, he just tightens the cilis up a notch and just gets a little bit of extra fucking digging in his leg from these spikes. So idubbbz is currently engaged in this insane level of self-flagellation, okay? So I don't think he's going to say anything. But can we just be honest about the fact of how completely and utterly unreasonable and disgusting it is to have an interview with idubbbz and then to not just put the interview up, to craft this video where you make sure that you've got 18 minutes beforehand of you and another black person discussing how, you know, ineffective what idubbbz has done is, just so anyone that's watching doesn't accidentally watch the interview and come away with the perspective that, oh hey, maybe idubbbz has changed for the better. No, we've got to make sure that everyone knows it's still not enough. And, you know, people that have deleted their account, they're the ones that are truly apologetic about what's happened. But no, idubbbz, despite doing this apology, despite giving money to charity, you know, despite putting himself in front of a lot of criticism for having this kind of turn, not enough. Not enough.